What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. We have the Vivo X Fold versus the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Now, I picked this phone up for about $1,800, the Vivo X Fold, and I also picked up the Z Fold 3 for about $1,800. Now, obviously, I got this for a little bit less because I traded in a phone, blah, blah, blah. I got some free gifts, blah, 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 blah. Well, the prices I paid at the end of the day, if you factor all those things out, was $1,800. Now, these phones are really good competition for each other. You've got the Vivo X Fold, which has a 8-inch inner display, this huge display, and this has, on the Z Fold 3 side, has a little over 7-inch display. So when you get that, you can see there's a huge difference, especially when you measure them like this. You can see how much wider the Vivo X Fold is. Put this inside, and you get a lot more as well. So it's a much bigger phone. Don't get me wrong. It's huge. And then the other big difference is when you look at the outside displays here, you can see that this is where the Vivo X5 really shines in terms of the way it looks, and especially beats the Z Fold 3. So first of all, let's go through the cameras. You've got a camera on the front here, just like you do on the Vivo X Fold, and then the inside display, it does sit on top of the display, and you see it gets really big. But on the Z Fold 3, it hides underneath the display on that inner display. You saw it a second ago, but then when I opened the phone, it kind of goes away, kind of see through, and then we get tri-cameras on the back. So let's check out some videos and photos, and I'll tell you what I think is the better camera. Guys, looking at the Galaxy Z Fold 3, this front camera does up to 4K 30, 4K 60, whatever you want to call it, 4K resolution, whereas on the Vivo X Fold, it only does 1080p on the front camera. Again, this is the front camera on the front display. So which one do you think looks better? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm going to be curious which one looks better. Now here we go on the bigger display. Both only do 1080p on these cameras, but this is the Z Fold 3 that I'm looking at and talking at right now. Now we hop over to the Vivo X Fold. Which one do you think looks better? When I look at these just straight on from the screen, and I'll be curious what I think after this, but the Vivo X Fold on this one looks better. It at least seems more sharp. Anyway, but we'll see once I get to the computer and do a little bit of editing and see what it looks like. Here is the main camera on the back of both phones. See which one looks better, sounds better. Better stabilization, all that stuff. We'll see. Be very curious to see, because this is definitely for me anyway, especially the way both of these phones look, the first time Samsung really has a great competitor to go against in terms of hardware, for sure, especially with what I think the Vivo has better hardware for the most part. Hopefully we can use this clip, but looking at the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and now the Vivo X Fold, what they both look like, let me know what you think looks better. Back cameras, this time we're doing the ultra wide, one of my favorite lenses on phones. I'm so glad they added this a few years back. And on the Vivo X Fold, this is what the ultra wide looks like. You can get so close, but so far away, if that makes sense. Little jokester. So let's pop this around. That way you can see what this looks like. Sorry if my fingers are getting in the way. Get close to this. What do you guys think? Which ultra wide looks better? Let me know in the comments down below. So after taking camera samples and videos of both of these phones, I like that the Z Fold 3 is very, vibrant and rich and kind of oversaturated to a point. But then I feel like the Vivo X Fold is clearer and generally takes better photos and videos. I also like the microphones being louder on the Vivo X Fold as well. So for the edge of the camera, and then you get the zoom on here as well, because the zoom, it's 50x. I believe it is 50x. Let me just double check. I always forget. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Actually 60x zoom on the Vivo X Fold. When you factor that in, the camera, I feel like I said, is better on the Vivo X Fold, and the video and the microphones. When just in a grand scheme now, did this compete and maybe sometimes beat the Vivo X Fold? Yes, the Z Fold 3 did at points, but overall, grand scheme of things, I'd give it the win to the, at least in the camera and video department, to the Vivo X Fold. Now, what about the looks of both of these phones? So I love this kind of color that changes colors all throughout. It looks silver, looks gray, looks blue, looks pink, purple, all kinds of different colors that pop through. I really like the look of this. And then you have this kind of big hinge. You do have a big hinge as well on the Vivo X Fold with a leather backing. They also come in different colors. These aren't the only two colors each phone comes in. For me, like the look, and then you get the front displays with not so much bezel. Look how much big that bezel is right there. And then the huge display. For looks, I would give it overall, it's tough overall because, well, okay, let me say this. I do like the glass metal look to the Galaxy Z Fold 3 better with the colors that change versus the leather. But with an overall look of the displays, the Vivo X Fold looks better with this bigger outside display and bigger inside display. I do like that the Z Fold 3 does hide the camera under there. It gives you a more uniform look, but the camera's pretty bad on there underneath the display. So overall looks, I think I'll give it again to the Vivo X Fold personally. Next, let's talk about the fingerprint sensor. So I love where Samsung has it under display. The fingerprint sensor on the side works wonderful. It works no matter if you have it open or closed. It's very accurate, which is not being accurate right there, but it is very accurate. I love it. It works great. Whereas on the Vivo X Fold, it works on top of the display. Whoops. Let me see. I have to make sure it doesn't see my face, because the face unlock is amazingly fast on here. So you can see it's very accurate, and it's the same on both displays. So you use it. So it depends. I guess I can see if you are left-handed, this phone might be better because you can just press right here rather than going all the way across the screen to unlock it. So it's a tough one. I prefer it better on the side here of the Galaxy Z Fold 3, but this is definitely the best fingerprint sensor on a display I've ever used. It's fast, super accurate as well. Also, face unlock is really, really fast. It's pretty fast on both of these phones, don't get me wrong, but it definitely feels like just a slight bit faster on the Vivo X Fold. So for biometrics, I'd give the win. It's hard to say this, but I think I'd give it to the Vivo X Fold just because how fast and accurate everything is. It's very fast and accurate on the Z Fold 3, and I do like it better on the side here, the fingerprint sensor, but I'd have to give the win to the Vivo X Fold. So what about the displays overall? Which has a better display? Well, the Vivo X Fold does get brighter, so it's going to be better to use outdoors. It's also bigger. I like it's bigger on the outside, as you can see, and it's also bigger on the inside. Both of them are Super AMOLED displays. Both of them run at 120 hertz. Both of them, I think, look fantastic. But for me, I would want bigger. I would want brighter. And for me, the displays are better on the Vivo X Fold. Don't get me wrong, I really love the Z Fold 3 displays, but the Vivo X Fold, I think, like I said, with it being bigger, brighter, and a really, really, really good quality display, that wins it over for anything else that Samsung currently has. Charging as well, you can wirelessly charge both of these phones up to 15 watts. The winner of this, though, for wired charging is the Vivo X Fold. You can charge it up to 66 watts versus 25 watts on the Z Fold 3. So you can charge this phone in about 37 to 39 minutes versus on the Z Fold 3 it takes a little bit over an hour. So it wins, right? it's crazy. It's gonna win. So for me, charging, that the winner is the Vivo X Fold. Now, software. This is huge because you're using the software every single day. And for me, you probably see my videos, but for me, the winner is definitely going to be the Z Fold 3. Why? Because this is a Chinese phone, and some of the things, there's a lot of manual processes set up in here from basically everything from notifications to just setting up the phone. So it comes close. Don't get me wrong, and it's just the menu system where some of the things are. Maybe I'm just not used to it, but it seems a little bit too much, and it gets everywhere. And you do get some Chinese bloatware that you can uninstall as well from Chinese, bloatware apps and things like that. But even just multi-window, and again, maybe I'm missing something, but you can multi-window, but the problem is you can only do 2 windows at a time, whereas the Z Fold 3 you can do tons of windows if you really, really wanted to. That's what's crazy about it. Let me just go in here and I'll do, I'll do split screen view. There you go. You got split screen view. I'll open up calculator. Why not? So you got 2 windows there. You come here on a Z Fold 3 and you can set up these little quick toggles. You can do little quick things over here too, but I'll just open up YouTube and Twitter. And I can also add in another window if I want. I can pull this over, be like, you know what, I want my calculator in here. And then you're like, you know what, no, I want something else in here. I want my settings menu. So I can come in here and pull in the settings menu. I got it floating on here. So you can do a lot of stuff. I can do multiple windows on here, up to 4 windows if I want. Or more than that, actually. That's just multitasking. And then when you get into the fact that you have your settings menu, that houses every freaking thing that you can imagine, from having your software updates, obviously, and your general management things, to changing your keyboard, your device and battery care stuff, which is easy to navigate, your advanced features. And if you want, you can download Good Lock, which adds even more stuff, which is a free app in the Galaxy App Store and works fantastic, and I use it. And you can change your lock screens, your quick panel, your clock faces, your multi-windows, your navigations, your nice shots, your themes, your key cafe. There's tons of stuff in here to use, and it's pretty easy to use for the most part. But when you come over to the Vivo X Fold, like I said, it's not awful. I do like the software. It's a nice little change of pace in some respects, but it's still slightly confusing, some of the ways they've set this up. And feels kind of like it needs a little refinement to it. You can still do themes just like you can on the Z Fold 3. They have a theme store. And you can, obviously do widgets and change your launchers and stuff. Just changing your launcher, that's one thing. I had to do a whole video on it, and it took me a bit of time just to figure out how to do that, because you have to sign up for an account, and you got to do this, and you do that. It's just awkward. So for software, for me, I'd personally give it to the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Performance on both of these phones is amazing. Let me close all the apps real quick just to show you, but we'll open up Google Play Store real quick. You can see they both open up really, really fast. Open up Instagram on here. Where you at, baby? 1, 2, 3. You can see Z Fold 3 opened it up faster, but again, you're gonna get amazing, amazing speed and performance on both. 120 hertz display on both. Performance, they're both great. All right, we're gonna play some music, see which one has better speakers. I'll hold them in my hand.
Just spent more time out biking instead of smoking cigarettes. Wish I worked more on music instead of alternating steps. Probably should have talked more to people I thought were interesting as heck. I wish I got things, or should I been more focused on where you wanted to go? If I died right now alive, have a few regrets. Just spent more time out biking instead of smoking cigarettes. Wish I worked more on music instead of alternating steps. Probably should have talked more to people I thought were interesting as heck. I wish I had gotten close.
So for me, the Vivo X Fold is louder and has better bass than the Z Fold 3. So I would choose the winner for the speaker test, Vivo X Fold. So which phone should you buy? Let's talk about that. I think if you live in America, it's a pretty no-brainer. Get the Z Fold 3. If you wanted to get this phone, it does work pretty much completely on T-Mobile/Mint Mobile, which I'll link down below if you want to get a Mint Mobile account because I use T-Mobile. It works great, and it's a really great hardware phone to use. The hardware on this, I feel like, is better than the Z Fold 3 in almost every aspect. The software, like I said, is better on the Z Fold 3, at least in my eyes. And then just being in America, Samsung is located over here. At least they have offices over here that you can get support and get this thing taken care of and fixed. And they even have local Samsung stores in some cities. So like that part of it is pretty hard to beat. If you live anywhere else, if you have a Vivo store or you can get Vivo support, then grab this phone. This is a great phone. I really, really like this phone. I want to make it my daily phone. It just doesn't work on my primary carrier completely. And but it's a great phone. I love this phone. I like this phone so much that I think that, like, and I've said this before, if you put Samsung software on this, I'd be a completely happy camper, and I would not even be looking forward to the Z Fold 4. Because it has a huge outside display, it has a great fingerprint sensor, it has a huge inside display, it's got good cameras, it has super fast charging, it doesn't have water resistance, so that if that's a thing, or dust resistance, which this does have water resistance, that could be a huge thing for you as well. But for me, this is the winner in terms of hardware, this is the winner in terms of software, and if I had to only choose one phone currently where I live in America, it would be the Z Fold 3. And that's because of the support, and it works with basically every carrier here in America. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road. Peace.